All right, welcome back to the shed. I'm back from the US and we now enter the final sprint of the BMW build. And I have to say, it's honestly kind of overwhelming because there's so many things that I have never done before and I need to execute quickly. One of those things is making control cables. Yesterday, I've already experimented a little bit with soldering on the end caps and I noticed that I can't really bird cage without a tool. So to make that process a little bit more proficient, I'm gonna make a DIY bird caging tool. I'm gonna build it out of a 6mm steel plate. If you have angle iron that is at least 4mm thick, then use that. That is much easier, much quicker. But I don't have that, so I quickly need to weld my own angle iron. This is the finished clamping part of the tool, but to get there, we start with 2 pieces of 80mm wide angle iron. What we're gonna do with this is we're gonna drill 3 holes in here while those are clamped together to get something that looks like this. We want a small hole that goes all the way down and then a little cavity at the top. And for that, we're going to use the 1.5, 2 and 2.5mm drills to go down and then the 6mm drill to create this little cavity. With this setup, we will be able to clamp the most common Bowden cable sizes in between these brackets and then use the little rods that we're going to fabricate in just a second to hammer down on the top of the cable and create the bird cage. Now, when we drill the small holes, we want to have a little piece of paper that goes right in between here. I've just cut out the same size, folded it up, and that will make the holes a little bit smaller than the drill size, so it can actually grip the Bowden cable. So that goes right in between there. And then we're going to space out the holes 20mm apart. That is the 3 small holes drilled. Now we move up to the 6mm drill and drill out the small cavities, which all go down 5mm. So if you have a stop on your drill press, use that. Otherwise, maybe a ruler. Since this stopped right here because the drill broke, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this off right here so this hole also goes all the way through, and I just need to add a little bit of depth to this cavity and that cavity as well, and then we're already done with the holes. Look at that, this is how it turned out. All of the cavities are the same depth and this is cut off. So now we can move on to the little rods. All I've done is cut those to 80mm and put a little chamfer at the top. Now we need the 4mm, 5 and 5.5mm drills to put a little dimple in there, and then that's already it. Now we have the 3 rods done as well, so let's give this a test. I have a little test piece of 7x7 1.5mm throttle cable, so let's see how well this works. It's important to make sure that it actually runs through the hole completely, so you don't end up like kinking it or something like that. Have it stick out halfway more or less in the cavity. Right, and just lightly tighten that. And now we take the corresponding rod and a hammer. Nice, that works perfectly. Wow, and that is how you make your own DIY bird caging tool. I am so surprised how well this works. This looks amazing. So if you have an hour of free time on your hand, this is definitely a worthwhile investment if you want to make your own custom control cables for your motorcycle, because if you buy these online, they're relatively pricey. And with this being done, we're going to attempt to make the throttle cables in the next video. So if you want to stick around for that, hit the follow button. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.